Acid Man was built to be a chemist. What's he good for, titrations? That's a chemistry joke.
What is your greatest intangible fear? This is a pretty heavy one. I guess my greatest fear would be like not being able to remember my loved ones and just like losing that sense of self. So probably, I guess it would just be memory loss is probably my greatest intangible fear. 9, what is your greatest tangible fear? Horses.
What I categorized as histories was anything that had big historical dates in them, explanatory histories, or pretty much anything that was boring. History's so boring!
What condition is your body currently in? I just ate a whole lot of cottage cheese, so I'm feeling a little bloated.
But I did just want to point out one troop, the Gushan, because its name is the Gushan, and I had to learn that its name was the Gushan, and now you need to know that it's called a Gushan as well. It's not the lusty Argonian maid. I feel like I should broach this subject. I'll tell you why I didn't include it in my good fiction list, and it's not because I'm a prude. Who doesn't love a little erotic lizard fiction?
Ooh, come on, baby.
There is no way you can manage to maintain that level of erotic tension for 7 acts. That's like 5.5 hours. As a person who has done 1 or 2 plays in my life, that's just unfeasible, okay? I'd like to see them try. I would like to see them try.
Ooh, come on.
I do just want to point out Aircon Man, who was a robot sent from the future to destroy the world. And he's also an air conditioning unit. Disposal of waste materials. If you are dropping waste materials more than 25 feet, you need to be putting it in a chute. Clock tower, it is all debris that is falling infinitely, and it should be in a chute.
What is the object you'd least like to be stabbed by? Trident. It's like 3 stabs at once.
But just when all hope seemed lost, I had an epiphany. I am going to throw myself into the sea.
A word your name kind of sounds like. If your name's Jenny, it could be Penny. If your name's Travis, it could be Starfish.
It's the stews. Strollin' stew. Strollin' stew. Soarin' stew. Soarin' stew. Swipin' stew. Smolderin' stew. Before I go to number 1, I gotta go get a flu shot. This is not a joke. It's important to get your flu shot.
All right, I'm back.
It's more mature than the Goomba, and also its name has an extra syllable and is way more fun to yell.
Look at this Galoomba.
Look at this Galoomba! Tsuchinoko is a Japanese cryptid that is a snake that is fatter in its middle than on its head or its tail.
I just don't see why it's sexy.
You don't, Patrick, you gotta understand, it's not about what you could first see, right?
I mean, but even after that, what do you see after that?
It has a propensity for lying and for drinking alcohol. Patrick thinks it shouldn't be this high on the list, but fuck Patrick. And what better way to show your dedication than to be literally shot from a cannon? But we've culled it down to the perfect number to figure out our sexy monster. That's right, we got 69 left. Can I get a whoop?
Woo!
We'll work on it, Clayton. We Fit Studio is a gym, and so I would expect it to have paperwork if one of the gym members gets injured. Unfortunately, all of the gym members get injured. Wimps and thwomps and wimps and womps and grindles and spindles and grolls. There's toxbox and flomps and romps and bumps and walleyes and wallops, and they're all pretty much invincible, and they will crush you without hesitation. With all the spell casting and shouting you must do as Dragonborn, who really has the time to read all those books? I do, apparently. Ladders. Suzaku Castle? You thought you could get away with that shitty-ass ladder? Those ladder rungs need to be uniform. They need to be evenly spaced. They need to not be broken. I know that ladder is there for aesthetic purposes, but that is a violation, Suzaku Castle! You cannot hide your ladders from me! Final Destination is just flying around through random parts of space. There's no protection. You should be less worried about getting punched into oblivion and more worried about the cancers. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll release that video some other time. That was a joke! I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna have to trust me, it was a really bad video. It's a level of world building that could only exist in an interactive medium. And for that, I commend you, Bethesda. My second reaction to this was, what the fuck? Hey, Todd? What the I mean, most of these monsters are pretty okay. They're not the most surprise! I lulled you into a false sense of security.
It happened in Second Planting, PD 1220, that Lord Ichlandam, on a journey in the western uplands, came to Nahulift, and Protector Ankard and General Rukunthunch met him there, and Dalen Zanchu also came to the meeting. They talked together long by themselves, but this only was known of their business, that they were to be friends of each other. They parted, and each went home to his own colony.
Riveting!
Ugh, history's so boring. I'm done with it.
It's me. Building. You're supposed to remove any glass that could break. And in Dracula's castle, Death flies through the window and breaks the glass. I couldn't give a shit about Death. You should have removed that stained glass first. I'm gonna put Aquaman in front of Pump Man because Pump Man's flavor text explains that sometimes he'll volunteer to wash off graffiti, and no one likes a narc.
Make sure to stay away from that Pharaoh seed, and that's just one name people have for weed. There's Pansage, Slowbro, Oddish, Bonsley, Tropius, C-Dot, Nuzleaf, and Blissey, Loudred, Dugong, and Gudra, Bounsweet, Bayleaf, Hypno, and Mun. You'll be drowsy if you swallow that Tangrowth smoke. Also coughing and wheezing, hey, you might much choke. So if someone says, hey, want some dank ombre, look them dead in the eye and say no way. I tell you not to do drugs, but if someone's smoking Trico, does that make them a bad person? Definitely no. I mean to carry on. My point in this verse is that alienating drug users makes things worse. Don't lock someone up if they take a Hitmonchan. And criminalizing addicts is a really bad plan. Big Pharma is the root of our country's problem with opiate addiction.
Of a flammable liquid in one place. By the way, I'm including magma as a flammable liquid. I know they mean petroleum substances, but I think that's just a lack of imagination on OSHA's part.
We have What genre is It's the catch-all. These tend to be accounts, kind of like medieval fantasy op-eds, so I just put them here.
We're done with these now, so. There's fire. There are jacks that get thrown across the stage. There is a large ape. Again, I could not categorize that, but I know he shouldn't have been there. And there is not a single life ring at the Donkey Kong residence. I don't care how good you are at surfing, Donkey Kong. Castlevania's most eligible bachelor! Hornet Man. We've done some shit to bees, y'all. He pollinates the flowers. Would be very useful if we continue to keep doing shit to bees. Everyone's favorite, the academic books. Fun fact about academic books that I learned in college is that no one has ever enjoyed writing or reading an academic paper. Why'd you put it in a video game? But more than that, he has this tender leadership quality that makes him not only respected, but loved by his peers. And then above him is a fucking T-Rex. Next two, I think are pretty self-explanatory. Bone Pillar, and if that doesn't make you happy, how about the Bone Dragon? The general requirements of electrical equipment. They should be kept free from hazards that could cause death or harm to employees. The large airships flying around you in these stages are not only electrical equipment, but they are designed to harm and kill you. Violation. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go throw myself into the ocean now. Top Man. I'll give you a guess about what he does. Did you guess explore other planets? Because yeah, that's what he was designed for. Why the fuck is he a top? The next monster is Evil Force, and I want you to just go ahead and wipe away all preconceived notions. Obviously the name makes it sound bad. It also is terrible. Let me tell you about Burner Man, who was made, and I quote, to bring harm to natural environments. Technically not murder, definitely bad. Dry Bones and Dry Bowser, whose naming conventions confuse and frighten me. When I die, will I become Dry Brian? Is a living Bowser Wet Bowser? Why do Piranha Plant have bone in it? And I have yet to find a Smash Brothers stage that includes a restroom. And I need to know where Donkey Kong pees. Hard Man. He doesn't actually have a flavor text explanation for what he is, other than that he's very heavy. Occupational noise exposure. I'm ignoring the fact that they're fighting on top of a jet, and instead thinking about how loud those jets are. Pop some earplugs in.
Subsection B, 21, committing outrages upon personal dignity, in particular, humiliating and degrading treatment. Yoshi made Bert the Bashful's pants fall down, but Baby Mario gave the order. He already feels bashful! You didn't need to pants the man!
Things that don't really need to be sentient? A vacuum. It's Dustman. Although, Dustman is quoted as saying, "Don't let me suck more than I can handle." So you know what? Actually, I take this back. He's more important than Chill Man.
Next we have our aquatic troops. Where can you find pleasure? Search the world for treasure. Learn science technology. Where can you begin to make your dreams all come true? On the land or on the sea. In the name...
Wait, where'd Toadman go? Where's my guy Toadman? Toadman. He irrigates crops during drought. Very useful. Why'd they make him a toad? In Gamer, your mom fires lasers at you when she sees you gaming. I'm not here to discuss her qualifications, but you are not allowed to fire those lasers at employees. Just let me game, Mom. Humans are real squishy, really, when you think about it.
We've also got Bowser Jr. up here, but he's not in a military role. He's actually Secretary of Transportation, but that's just pure nepotism.
God, these are all so good. We're getting into the categories where I can't stop laughing. Serious. Snake Man. Means of egress. In most places, you have to have exit signs. And also, you have to have exits that don't involve plummeting to your death.
No matter the size or the scope of the task, I don't need a magic carpet ride. I'm a champion hero, there's nothing to fear, oh, my true power comes from inside. And that brings us all of the way to the top. I've said every name I could say. I'll let my body confess the names that I can't express. Yes, it's time for the Dream Ballet. Come on! But there's one Pokemon, my own holy grail, that I gave Kevin Punt. I hope that bastard's in jail. 'Cause of all Tangalas, Terry is the apex. And I gave him up for my Dex. When you love Terry terribly, and then Terry is gone, what's the point of having every other Pokemon? There's a wound in my heart that I can't get rid of. How can I find joy without my tangly boy? Why catch them all if you can't keep the ones that you love? Terry!